بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وصلاته وسلامه وصحبه أجمعين. أعلم بعد. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق الإنسان من علق. اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم كلا إن الإنسان لا يطغى أن رآه استغنى إن إلى ربك رجع. صدق الله العظيم. Dear beloved sisters and brothers in Islam, in Allah's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. Praise be to Allah, the Lord, guardian evolver, cherisher and sustainer of all the worlds. Most gracious, most compassionate, master and sole judge on the day of judgment. We seek His help, we seek His forgiveness, and we seek of Him the good benefits, the acceptable benefits, all. I give open testimony that there's none deserving of worship. There's no deity except Allah, one and alone. There's nothing comparable to Allah. And I bear witness that Muhammad, unto whom the Quran was revealed, is the servant and messenger. The prayers and the peace be on him, on his companions, his descendants, and the righteous all. Ameen. Today's topic will be on the narrative in Deen al-Fitr. The theme of the natural pattern in creation. The wonderful, beautiful attributes of Allah. So many are given to us in the Quran. Illustrate the beautiful command that Allah has over this creation, His entire creation. There is a narrative to Allah's power and rule over creation. All creation is accountable to serve the Creator's divine order and will. Allah created the human being to worship Him. The human being was created in stages and raised up to witness the power and glory of Almighty Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Highly glorified and sublime is Allah. The ayats that I recited of Quran are the first that were received by Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam when he received this divine mission, serving to reveal Allah to the human creature in a way that had never been done before. He was part of a mission over the ages of the prophets who came before him, and as we know, he is the seal of the prophets. Ikra, read, recite, proclaim. This was the command that he received through the angel Gabriel. When he was meditating, he was in the cave because he had such compassion for the circumstances of his people, his own life. As we know, Allah chose him and drew him closer to himself in terms of what he went through, the trials that he went through of losing loved ones and becoming an orphan. And even after being orphaned, still losing his grandfather, his uncle, to the point where Allah drew him closer to himself. It's part of Allah's divine plan. So this first verse, which is that proclaim in the name of thy Lord and cherisher who created. Because this was a phenomenon that Muhammad the Prophet ﷺ didn't know what was overcoming him. Didn't know what this was from the angel being pressed upon him, pressed into service of this great, great mission. So as he began to realize what was going on, Allah answered his concern. About man's creation. The next ayat created man out of a mere clot of congealed blood. Very humble beginnings. Proclaim, and your Lord is most bountiful. Everything is provided from Allah that we need to sustain us in great bounty. So the answer was right before us in terms of what was created. But this man Muhammad, the Ummi prophet, he was not schooled in these matters. And we understand Ummi prophet meaning the unlettered prophet. He did not receive this knowledge from any teachings or from any school. Allah raised him up, taught him. The next ayat, he who taught the use of the pen. This was something that would come into more manifestation over the ages as Allah raised up the human being. But it was a heralding to command that the human being would come to do great things by being able to transfer knowledge, to be able to expound upon knowledge. Because this was meaning that the human being had no understanding of recording the language that he spoke in great detail. So this was a time when the recording and transfer of knowledge would take off by use of the pen. Pen being metaphorical about great ways of producing script and writings, as we know. Taught man that which he knew not. Still developing. The human being is just in its very, very nascent stages of development. So what was in store was just tremendous. They had no idea of the knowledge of the universal principles that they would be able to harness as a result of this spur of knowledge and revelation. Command over the sciences to be able to uncover that which Allah put into this creation in the way of principles, the sciences that were yet to be uncovered or discovered. Nay, but man doth transgress all bounds. So, after being taught, man wants to take responsibility as though we came up with this knowledge, as though we created or invented sciences. Because Allah made us thinking beings, but we don't have this of our own self knowledge. only by Allah's blessing of this knowledge, in terms of the signs in creation that he put, and the signs in us that he put. We call ourselves Homo sapiens, wise beings, only by Allah's grace and divine inspiration and guidance and the prophetic mission that Allah sent men of great inspiration to help elevate our consciousness, our thinking, and to guide us. So, nay, but man doth transgress all bounds, in that he looketh upon himself as self-sufficient, without giving regard to his Lord and Sustainer. Where all this comes from? Because it's not readily visible. In terms of the greatness, we see what we see, but there's so much we don't see. But Allah tells us to believe in the unseen, which we'll talk about. Verily, to thy Lord is the return of all. Again, Allah is in command. So we have to constantly, because of this contentious nature that man, the human being, has, we have to constantly seek Allah's forgiveness and mercy. And we have to seek to increase and strengthen our iman and taqwa. Because we go through trials that test our iman and our resolve. Allah tells us in Quran, do men think that they will be left alone upon saying we believe and that they will not be tested? We did test those before them, and Allah will certainly know those who are true from those who are false. Allah created the human being to be Khalifa, ruler, custodian in the earth, and endowed the human being with great purpose and potential. In Surah Al-Sad, Allah says, behold, thy Lord said to the angels, I am about to create man from clay. When I have fashioned him in due proportion and breathed into him of my spirit, Ruh, fall ye down in obeisance to him. This gives us an idea of the understanding how Allah has raised us and given us high station in this creation. And there's a lot of responsibility. And I would love to go into more detail about what we're facing in this day and time in terms of the earth and the conservation that is necessary, and what we've done in so many ways to enhance and edify our place in this world. We've also despoiled it in so many ways. And we have a climate crisis going on now because of that. But as custodians, we're supposed to be able to come up with what Allah charged us with, to take care of this great place that He gives us as our abode. Not only our own body, but all our earth, the mother earth, the mother nature. When we talk about being fashioned into shape of clay, clay represents water and earth combined, metaphorically. This is similitude for man's malleable nature. And Allah provides inspiration for the human being to carry out his purpose, to carry out Allah's purpose and will. And this requires moral conscience, or taqwa. So, without taqwa, which is moral conscience represented by water, people gravitate to false worship. They gravitate to just dry rational knowledge, materialism, devoid of moral conscience. The human being is created to be aspirational. To each is a goal set by Allah to which he or she turns. Al-Imran, Surah 3:104. Let there be from among you people inviting or appealing to all that is good and forbidding what is wrong. They are the successful ones. And from Al-Baqarah, thus have we made of you an ummah justly balanced, that ye may be witnesses over the nations, and the messenger a witness over yourselves, bearing good news, admonition, and a reminder. We have a great role in terms of welcoming and being appealing to others. Just our way that Allah has blessed us and raised us up, especially in this perfected knowledge, the revelation of Quran. People don't know until they meet those who carry forth this message. If they don't know us, they don't know the appeal. The appeal is not just in our speech, it's also in our manner. So as we go forth as an ummah, justly balanced, and people come to know us, there is a certain appeal that they get to know the beauty of Al-Islam. And at the same time, we realize that, as I opened with the first ayat that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam received, I would like to close out talking about the very last ayat that completed the revelation in Surah Ma'idah, Surah Al-Ma'idah. This day have those who reject faith given up all hope of your religion. Yet fear them not, but fear me. This day I have perfected your religion for you, completed my favor upon you, and chosen for you as religion Al-Islam. This lets us know of the progression over the ages going back to Adam. As man was being raised up, prophets were commissioned from Allah. There's one brotherhood of prophets over eons of time. But the human being had to be developed. When the weighty message was placed on the heart of Nabi Allah, the Prophet of Muhammad, this weighty message could not have been placed on a yet to be developed human being like Adam. But there were great prophets like Ibrahim who saw and accepted and promoted the concept of Tawheed, the oneness of Allah. He did not associate gods with God or deities. So in closing, I just want to encourage us, understanding that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the seal of the prophets, the model human being of most excellent character, and that his role, his mission, completed the mission of the prophets before him, a fulfillment of all those prophets who came before. So as we go forth and we have this great message, this appeal that goes out to the entire world, we're really appealing to those same human beings that are part of that progression, who may have been stuck in one aspect of the message, whether it was delivered at the time of Moses and Musa, or the time of Isa. And that was also a great message. But now it has been brought up to the point where it's perfected. We're not perfect. Allah is perfect. The message is perfect. And things that in the Quran Allah told us about in terms of knowledge over the ages that would come to pass, who would have thought hundreds, 200 years ago, 1,000 years ago, when this revelation came, talking about things that would come from the far reaches of the universe. In the passages about Solomon, Suleiman, in the twinkling of an eye, we get data We get messages in the twinkling of an eye, not only from the other side of the earth, from out in space. What is that twinkling, that light, the speed of light? Who knew that this would come to pass? And we have ways to go. Allah encouraged a long time ago for us to believe in the unseen. Well, there are degrees of what is unseen. There are different levels of the unseen. There are some things in the physical world that are unseen or had been unseen, but now have been discovered. There are great principles that are a part of this pattern. So this narration or this narrative that we want to just convey is so tremendous that we have been given this message to carry forth and to be a light and join in with our brothers and sisters, regardless of their faith tradition, to share this light, to come together. And I will just repeat that one ayat that we have made you an ummah justly balanced, that you may be witnesses over the nations and the messenger a witness over yourselves. So we have to project that. And let there be people from among you inviting, appealing to all that is good and forbidding what is wrong. They are the successful ones. Ameen. Ikamat as-salat. What's going on this? Okay, 1 minute.
One more.
Just to close out the second portion of the khutbah, there is another ayat I would like to relate. What Allah tells us in Surah Al-Imran. And this great, tremendous responsibility we have, Allah gives us encouragement. So lose not heart, nor fall into despair, for you must gain mastery if you are true in faith. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. آمين. إقامة الصلاة.